Hey folks, welcome back. I'm just gonna see if I can get a little bit more done here on my flight sim today. And last time I was working on the very first classes for the campaign. And I think what I want to do this time is sort of start putting in the skeleton classes for my sort of structure. And here I'm taking a lot of inspiration from the old Falcon 4.0 code, and you can see um, how they handle the organization of their units. They've got division, brigade, and battalion here for ground units anyway. Division, brigade, battalion. Obviously, division has multiple brigades, which has multiple battalions, and the battalions each have multiple ground units, uh, which is this class here. Um, There's also naval units in the game, but they don't organize those out by, you know, carrier group or anything like that. They've just got naval units. Uh, and then for air units, they've got squadron and they've got flight. Um, but they also have package, and I need to dig into package a little bit more because I suspect that a package can contain flights from multiple squadrons because it just makes sense that, I know I'm certainly no expert, but I'm sure there are squadrons that do very specific things. So if you're, for instance, going to attack a factory, um, in a city somewhere, I'm sure you would have um, you'd have the maybe the first wave of aircraft to go in are probably like Wild Weasel type aircraft that are there to take out air defenses, right? Then you have um, your flights that are actually going to bomb the factory, and then potentially you've got flights that are some sort of fighter escort type. And I'm guessing those are three very different um, those are three very different activities, and I'm guessing they have the different squadrons probably specialize in different parts. And so you potentially a package that's attacking a factory, say, might have flights from three different squadrons. At least that's my guess, but I do need to dig into it a little bit more to understand how a package gets built by the AI when it's building the missions. So I'm not ready to dig into the aircraft part too much yet, but I do think I can go ahead and look at this division, brigade, battalion structure and at least put in something very simple for now. So I think that's what I'll concentrate on for the moment. So I'm gonna do here. Um, let's see. First, let me grab a couple things. Okay, got a couple things I'm gonna add to my types file here. I'm gonna fix these up a little bit because I just copied them straight up. You know what, I'm gonna fix a bunch of these up because I want them to all have the same. I want these to all match. So we're gonna fix everything with Fox Campaign. And we got mission status. Now the new ones here, we've got division type, and I'm not sure headquarters really makes sense here, but whatever. I may remove that eventually, but I'll leave it for the moment. And then we've got Fox Campaign Division stats, and I don't have supply for now. Whoops. I'll worry about that once I get the basics in. So then we've got this Ox campaign mission status. Need to fix up. Go. Got the new classes here are division type and division stats. So we're going to go ahead and create a class for division. We'll call this Fox campaign. And we'll inherit from view object. And my folders are correct. Just double check, make sure I spelled everything right. Okay, so got our header in our C++ file. So let me grab some stuff from Copilot here. Okay, so I'm going to paste a bunch of stuff in here and then we're going to go through it one at a time, fix it up and get rid of things we don't need, etc. So let's see what we got here. So division ID, that makes sense. Everything's going to have a GUID. Division name also makes sense. Faction owner, yep. And obviously it's defaulting this, but at some point that won't be defaulted, right? It'll be, I guess I don't really need that forward declaration that I just added since I got the include file. Type of division makes sense. Current world location. So this is going to be the Unreal world location. So I'm going to have a problem I'll have to deal with eventually here, where the coordinates, I'm going to need to be able to convert back and forth between Unreal units and the geo coordinates. And I'm guessing what I really want here is actually the geo coordinates, not the Unreal location, which is what this is. I'm going to leave that alone for now until I understand a little bit more what I'm doing there. Okay, so subunits. So interestingly, we can see there's a base class here that it wants me to create. So I will probably do that. These comments are terrible. They just tell me what I already know. I don't want tick division. I just want tick. I'm going to get rid of that supply function for the moment. Okay, so we can see that I need a base class, which this class probably needs to inherit from, actually. Let me see if Copilot gave me that. So it did, but I don't really agree with what it's wanting me to do there. It wants my campaign unit to inherit from Pawn, which I do not think I want. Um, the way Falcon 4.0 works is that it only spawns units in the world that are close enough to the player to be relevant. So if an army division is 300 nautical miles away, it's completely irrelevant to the player. It can't affect the player, and the player can't affect it. So it doesn't spawn that object into the world. And even if it did, this would be more than one pawn. It would be many pawns because every single one of these subunits would you would go down the tree, right? It would be a battalion or brigade battalion, and then the battalion would have units that you would actually turn into pawns that would show up on the screen. You're not gonna make a pawn out of the division. It doesn't make any sense. So I think what I'm going to do for now is actually I'm just going to comment this because and this because really what we want there I think are not campaign units. I think we want the next level down. And if we look at the organization, the next one down from division is brigade. So we need to create a brigade class. That's going to inherit from U object. And then we are also going to want a battalion. Go ahead and create that class. I'm not going to put anything in these for the moment. I'll work my way down through the tree. So this, actually I can uncomment now. This will actually be a Fox Brigade. U Fox Campaign Brigade. There we go. This doesn't need to be generic anymore. Can't type. I guess if we wanted to be more flexible, maybe we should. Maybe maybe you could make the argument. I don't really know how things are structured exactly, but perhaps a battalion could have some members of it that aren't in a brigade. I don't know. I'm going to leave it this way for now. But if I need for this to be generic later, I can make a UFox campaign unit. Um, Maybe I should go ahead and do that now. Let's that's what Free Falcon here does. Got ground unit, which inherits from unit, and then I'm sure division probably inherits. No, it doesn't. It actually doesn't inherit from anything. This does though. Brigade and probably battalion. Yeah, those both inherit from ground unit class. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do Unreal class, Ops campaign, ground unit. There we go. And let's take a look at division here again. Really, all of this, just about. Yeah, let me go back to my enum there, or my campaign division stats, and make this campaign unit stats. Whoops. And now I've got campaign unit stats, and we can take this whole thing, inherit from UFox campaign ground unit. Really, we can take all of this, put it here. Make this generic again. There we go. I think I like that better. So you can imagine at some point I'm gonna have to have some sort of file format that describes like the beginning of a campaign and has the state of the situation in some big, probably like a JSON file or something. And so it'll be a big JSON file that has the factions, and each faction will have divisions, and each division will have brigades. All that'll be laid out in the file. So I'll have probably some functions that get added to load these things from the JSON file. But for now, we'll just what we'll probably just do is hard code some things just to get something running. Of course, I'm not even in a position to hard code anything to get. I'm not even in a position to get that far yet. So um, I don't need to worry about that too much yet. Um, so I think we can assume that, let's see, we got division, brigade, Italian. There we go. Now all my inheritance is straight. Everything should be good. So, um, yeah, I got all kinds of things broken because that renaming I did. I should have used the actual refactor tool. So, got this initialize method in the AI commander class, and I think the proper place to hard code anything I'm going to hard code for now would be here. I need to run a compile just to see how many things are still broken. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, build actually succeeded, so I guess I got everything that I broke with that renaming. So really what I need to do is there's going to be there's going to be this. Let's do this. Okay, I'm going to create this first armor division. The Where's my unit? Ground unit. There we go. Location. Not too many tabs open. YZ. So we're going to create a first armored division, and we want to add this. Really, I want to add oops, I wanted. There we go. So we're going to add division. Inside of my commander, I need a divisions array, and we will add it's not right. I need to make that a T object pointer. There we go. And now, there we go. Okay. Oh, no. Okay, interesting. I guess because it's an array. All right. So now we add that division to our collection of divisions. And let's go back to the subsystem and let's add, I have no idea what, we got division 2. We need to add this to the commander, and this is going to be blue commander, add division. Right. Oops, hang on. Need to add a constructor. Let me go and do that. Actually, we should, yeah. So let me just generate. Do I have a constructor here? Do not. Great definitions for all of that. Create. Oh boy, this is getting to be a pain already. All these files. The ground unit needs a private protected more. Actually, I'll make it private. We'll pass that into the constructor. A units. Yeah, I don't actually like that. Uh, let me rename this. Uh, there we go. Yeah, never seen that before. I'm not familiar with this keyword. I guess I'm a little out of date with my C++. Um, anyway, told me to do it, so I'll do it. Make ground unit, subsystem, and need view. I'm out of date on my C++ here as well. 1 second. Okay, I get it. So Unreal does not like this at all. It needs a default constructor. So we'll handle that a different way. So instead, we'll handle that in the initialize. We will pass in right here. There we go. That should actually be a pointer. Fix it up here as well. Okay, now there we go. So now I need to go back to my campaign subsystem and pass in this. It doesn't like that. Of course it doesn't. There we go. Vision. Also needs a default constructor. Hmm, I don't want to do that. It's because I did not update these. I'm not quite sure what it's telling me here. One second. I know what's happening here. Since this is a Unreal object, let me fix this up real quick. There we go. Okay, now let me look at add division. Needs an object pointer. There we go. Okay. Now, this guy, we should have two divisions getting added to our units, one for each side here. I want to handle this. And then handle the tick. So this tick, um, I need to mark. You know, beautiful. And now every time my division ticks, I'm gonna log Is the right. That's right. For Unreal. I think they've got their own. Maybe I'm making that up. To look it up. It's built right in to the UV log function. I always forget. Righty. When division tick gets called, we're going to log. So what we're going to do is in campaign subsystem, um, suppose we'll make a tick here as well. Thing. Stop num I plus plus. Okay. There we go. So now every second this tick gets called and we go. It's going to tick. Each commander is going to tick, and then that tick is going to loop through all the divisions and tick those. So we should see our tick methods get called. I'm going to go ahead and build this. We'll see if any errors happen. So I launched the editor, compiled and launched the editor, but I ran into an issue right here. I believe that this is a null pointer, so I'm going to set a breakpoint on this. And after my project's finished loading, I'm going to see if I can launch this in debug mode to see what's going on there, because quite sure. So we'll give us a few minutes to finish loading, and then I'll launch debug mode and see if we can see what's up. Okay, so now I'm running in debug mode, so when I start this up, I should hit this breakpoint, and there we go. So this all looks proper. Interesting. Okay, it worked. Red Commander. I'll bet. No? Still there. Interesting. Seems to be working fine. Now it hit the exception. Well, at some point, like that's getting emptied out. Let's launch this directly. Let me look at the stack trace again. Okay, let me run this and see what that trace looks like when it crashes. There we go. Yeah. Initialize them. Make any sense? Okay. Uh, do a conditional breakpoint here. So this breakpoint should fire if this is null. Fire that up in the debugger. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start this up. I already hit the exception and it never hit my breakpoint. Okay, I have to stop this and think about it a little bit more. If I start with this code commented out, I actually have a hunch I know what's happening. Let's see. You can see it's running just fine. So I think actually what's happening is my stack trace is not giving me the full stack trace. I suspect I look at division right here. Think, yeah, going in, but should be unit name, unit ID. This shouldn't be here at all. Should not be there at all. Yep, this is the problem right here. I'm not setting the name, but this needs to be overridden. Doesn't really need to be overridden. It needs its own. I mean, it needs its own initialize with a. See here. Let's just get rid of this for now completely. Unit. But I should make this match. There we go. I'm going to override. Well, I don't really want to override, I want to overload. I don't even do that in Unreal. Can I do, let's see. Property. There we go. There we go. Now everything should be set. Let's give that a shot. Okay, so I got one problem here. It does not take 3 arguments. Where am I calling this from? Add that back in once I made the new function. Okay. Okay. So now I got that all sorted. Actually, let me fix this because I think, yeah, my default pawn isn't set. You turn off the clouds too. Yeah, oh, turns it off for the editor window. Nice. Ah, another crash. Let's see. Commander line 15. I've just been stepping into this code, and after let me actually run this again. I think I'm in a never-ending loop now. But I take a look at this. The unit name, it gets messed up. So I'm thinking that's probably what the issue is. Not sure what's going on there. get rid of, let's just call it Armored Division and Russian Armored Division. Let me see what happens this time. Let me see if I can track it a little bit better. So right here, the very first time the tick gets hit, Armored Division, Russian, Russian. Now it's failing. Yeah, that looks pretty messed up. Let me try one more time. Okay, last little run here. Just want to see. Wanted to move my breakpoint back a little bit and just see what's in here before it goes wrong. Okay, and yes, interesting. So it's definitely correct. Division, Russian Armored Division. It's messed up. So the unit name is getting corrupted, and now if I hit F8, yeah, that was the exception. All right. I'm just going to comment this out for now, because this video is already as long or longer than I wanted them to be. So it's just quick rundown where I'm at. I've got skeleton of all my categories for ground units. The brigade and battalion obviously don't have anything in them yet. And I got to figure out whatever the heck's going wrong here. But at least I know what's wrong, so I shouldn't have too much trouble chasing it down. But you can see I added quite a lot of code here, this little session, and the problem is I'm nowhere near really even being able to put anything on the screen as far as this campaign goes. So, right, this is probably a months long process here. So, like I said, next video I'll probably do something else just to get a little movement, see that I'm actually accomplishing something. In fact, since I now have these 3 classes, before I can make them actually spawn objects in the world, I need for them to have something to spawn. So maybe I'll bring in some tanks, an allied and a western and an eastern tank, just to have them there so I can spawn something when I'm inside the bubble. But we'll see what I feel like working on. Anyway, I'll stop there, even though this isn't working for now. I'm sure when I start the next video, I'll have whatever this is figured out, and I'll just show it then. Anyway, until then, take care.